2117. So thank you so much for sharing. That's really inspiring. We're going to move on to Shristika. She's a Mozilla Club captain from Bangalore, India, and she's also an up-and-coming woman leader in tech in India. So we're really excited to hear from you. Go ahead, Shristika.
Hi, everyone. Am I audible? Hi, I'm Srushtika. I'm an undergraduate engineering student from Vishweshwarya Technological University from Bangalore, India. Thanks for having me in the call. It was really inspiring to listen to all the speakers who spoke before me. So I'm a club captain of the Avant-Garde Mozilla Club, where I, along with my team, we conduct web literacy activities and teach the web to the people of our region. So many people ask me why web literacy. So I'm sure most of us spend more than half of our everyday lives on the web, and most of us are also aware of the vast ocean of opportunities available out there. However, like the two sides of the coin, there's always a flip side. So it's important to understand how to behave as a responsible netizen and be aware of the threats to one's privacy and security as well. So amidst all this, it's also important to realize that the web we've been talking about is owned by nobody and is open to all. Quoting Mozilla, the web is not supposed to be the walled garden of content. So, to make the most out of such a wonderful resource, the open web, the people need to know and learn how to read, write, and participate in the web. And that's what the universal web literacy is all about. That's the same reason I take pride in teaching and advocating web literacy among a diverse audience in my geographical region via the Mozilla Club. So we are proud to have club members from various backgrounds. We have designers, we have developers, speakers, etc. And we are all united by the Mozilla's mission to make the web a better place. However, nothing again comes without challenges. So doing these amazing things is different based on a lot of things, and one of those is gender. I'm not kidding when I tell you that people pay attention and think what you're saying actually makes sense, whether or not it actually does if you're a man. So a lot of us talk about diversity. Tell me something. If I ask you, all of you on the call, if I ask you to imagine a great and renowned scientist, I'm sure the first thing that comes to your mind is an old man with like that. So it's not that women scientists did not exist or that they weren't famous. It's just wired that way in our brains since we were kids, and might sometimes also be an unconscious bias. So many people around the world still think computer science as a boy-only domain. Putting together a lot of data structures and algorithms, crunching on those codes and numbers, and tagging someone as a hacker, we just simply imagine it as a men's world. So, but that is so not true. Although some people still believe that women do not have enough expertise to take up STEM as their career, it's fast changing. But I personally think that such a change is fast and very much possible if we have localized examples or case studies. What I mean by this is, if you know some women of your own city or neighborhood who has achieved something exceptional, actually most of the times it's not that great, but just because a woman has achieved it, it's just tagged exceptional already. Anyways, so this person from your own locality, whom you might also personally know, has a lot more positive influence on you compared to some woman from a far off country who's been shown on a television for having achieved something great. I feel it's very important for women in a leadership role to come out and share their journey. Most of those journeys aren't smooth. I'll talk about this journey thing in a while at the end. I've personally been very enthusiastic about building apps that benefit the society. I've also attended a lot of hackathons and spent a lot of time with many kinds of different teams from different campuses around my around my own campus. But the first time I wanted to attend such a hackathon, which is basically a 24-hour long event, my parents were reluctant. They were not sure if it was safe enough or even worth enough for me to compete in such a mostly male-dominated event. But this has changed. So 3 years later, now when I'm still attending these hackathons and tech events, I see a lot more participation from women. And I think one part of making women feel welcome in a particular field is by building, safer workplaces. For instance, I'm now in my final year of graduation, and we have different companies visiting our campus. Thank you for the applause. We have different companies visiting our campus. Most of them for placements. So most of them make it a point to emphasize on the various initiatives and facilities provided particularly for women by their company. So just so that they feel welcome. It doesn't really mean anything, but it's just like a reassurance, which in itself is sufficient for a woman who might be wasting her expertise due to just a lack of a safe workplace. So I've always been allowed to do what I like, irrespective of the social or mental barriers. For instance, I play drums as opposed to most of my female friends who would prefer to play guitar because it's supposed to be girly. But these preconceived notions of what a girl should be like or what a guy should be like are soon breaking. And to do that, it all takes a single man or a woman to step up and break the barrier and set an examples for others to get inspired by. So, returning to the journey thing that I was talking about, I'll just share my screen for a second. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
So, so it is mostly this journey that we mostly assume that someone talks about a journey to success. It mostly looks like this. That's what we assume. But for women, it's kind of different. It's almost like this. It's like this. So there are a lot of hurdles. It's not that easy. But then again, it's in spite of that, it's necessary to hold on and show back the success right in the face of those who never believed that you could achieve. Just a second, I'll just stop sharing my screen. Yeah. So it's like that. It's not always easy, but then we need to hold on and keep moving. So today, if someone asks me what a girl can be, I would say anything: a hacker, a pilot, a hairdresser, a teacher, a biker, or anything in the world. Because why not? Thank you so much. So I'll just go through the questions.
Yeah, thank you so much. There are a few questions if you don't mind addressing them quickly.
Yes, sure. How do you structure your club meetings? Is there always a guest speaker? Is it open discussion? So, mostly our club is focused on conducting web literacy teaching activities. So, we have weekly or monthly calls. So, not almost, all of my club members are students. So, depending on the exam schedule, we plan our meetings mostly on Hangouts. And no, we do not have a guest speaker because if it is a event we're talking about, we are just invited to an event and it is the discussion within our own clubs that we do. And what is an example of a learning or web literacy activity the club does? So we teach kids why privacy and security is important because even kids use web a lot, say to play games, to probably copy their homework assignment from Google. So they don't really.
Oh no, it looks like we might have lost her. Maybe we'll give her a couple seconds to come back. If she does come back online, we can go back to her. But actually, her inspiring words are a really great segue to a couple of the questions that we put starting at line 144. We wanted to open these questions up to our speakers, but also if you are watching with us in the Etherpad, feel free to add your answers as well. The prompt for the roll call was who's your STEM role model and why. So if any of our speakers want to verbalize their role models and why, or if you would like to tell us who the most influential instrumental influence has been in your life as your catalyst to get involved in your work, that would be really great because you all have such inspiring stories. We would love to hear kind of what got you started, and in the whole vein of women in STEM and Ada Lovelace Day.